All right, welcome back to 90s basketball cards. So, fun little different video for you today. So, I have an interview with a close friend and a fellow collector of mine, Mitch. So, Mitch, thanks for having me. Thanks for the scotch. What are we drinking here?
This is a Japanese whiskey. It is called Yamato. I've never had it. I got it for my birthday. It's quite good.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
A while ago.
Very belated. I just haven't got around to it yet.
Right.
But, yeah.
All right. Well, so we're here to talk about the best time of basketball card collecting, the 90s. At least I think so, humbly.
I would agree.
All right. Well, at least we have one thing in common so far, right?
And we can fight. After we got that out of the way, now we can fight for the rest of that.
So, I know that you were a longtime collector, as I was, and most of our friends. So tell me, what got you into collecting basketball cards?
I mean, the honest answer is my friends collecting got me into collecting. I wanted to join what they were doing, and as you remember, a bunch of us would get together, spend 20 hours, it seemed like, all weekend deliberating over, well, do I really want to trade Marcus Camby for, whatever.
Antoine Walker.
So I think it was really just a way of, when you're a young kid in a small town, it's a way you connect with other kids, and it was just very exciting. I mean, the other thing, it was just so exciting to open packs and not know what you were going to get.
It's like gambling for kids.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I think it hits those same emotions for gamblers. It's like, this could be the thing that changes everything. This one pack, I can retire if I just get.
That Camby refractor rookie was always waiting.
Yeah, which is worth what, like $15 now.
Probably if you're lucky too.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, I think those were really the main things for me.
Nice. So was there like a card? I think growing up, I know I had like my pinnacle card, my holy grail card. Was there like a card in your collection or that you sought after that was like the piece de resistance?
Well, I mean, the cliche answer, but again, it's the true answer, was of course the Jordan rookie.
Right.
I mean, what you hear rumors about it, a lot of which you found out later are not true.
Right.
I'd hear rumors like, my second cousin went to a yard sale in Cedar Rapids, and he came back, and so that was pretty much the pinnacle for me. But I didn't really. I mean, the people I collected were not really valuable even back then.
Yeah.
I really liked the Blazers at the time, so I collected Damon Stoudemire.
That's right.
And I love Damon Stoudemire, but he's not.
Right.
He's not worth a lot in terms of money.
That's the fun thing, though.
Exactly. You sort of find your niche, and I remember you had Penny, obviously.
Love him still.
And Josh had MJ, and our friend Zach had Marcus Camby. So we all kind of just found our player,
right? And
then tried to corner the market. But those were the best times. Is just like up in a friend's bedroom. We're all like on our stomachs, flipping through the books, trying to make
through the old packet.
Yeah. It's like like Wall Street or something.
Right.
We're trying to land the best deal before closing, which was just one of our parents telling us to go to bed.
Right. Get out of here. So, were there any? We talked about opening packs, really the fun stuff. I mean, the same thing still for me. It's like an itch that I can't ever fully scratch. Yeah. Was there like any pack that you remember opening that was just like got you hooked, or anything that you pulled, or any crazy pulls?
So, best pull I ever saw was one I missed by inches.
Okay.
And it was in a card store in Plymouth, New Hampshire. Remember, we had card stores.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's like a relic of the past.
Yeah, we walked down a couple friends. I think it was me and my friend Zach, and there was this one pack of cards in the box, and the owner of the card shop said, you should buy this. It's one pack left, but it was like $5 or $6. And at the time, that might as well have been a mortgage payment.
Right.
I mean, when you're that age. So I was like, well, I don't know, and I hemmed and hawed. Anyway, somebody else came in, decided to go ahead and buy that pack, and got the Shaquille O'Neal Jambalaya.
Crazy.
Which was, at that point, I mean, I knew I messed up when I saw the owner of the card shop cover his face, and but even at that point, that card was a $300 or $400
yeah, I
card.
think so.
And what is it now?
It's if it grades well, it's upwards of a couple thousand.
Yeah.
Depending on the grade.
So that was just such a beautiful card.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god.
Iconic, really.
And I've been chasing that feeling ever since.
Right.
That feeling of I can't miss this pack. I have to open it or I have to buy
Right.
it because
It's the next pack.
It's the next one.
So
And
it
it
has
has
this one. And the crazy thing too with a box of EX 2001, so that box today sealed sells for like $1,100.
Yeah.
It was just mind-boggling to think about. You could have bought a pack for $5, $6, $7, whatever it was. Like the prices now of just those rare chase cards has just gone through the roof.
Yeah.
I think for some of us it's chasing those childhood memories. Like if you had an opportunity to go and buy a pack today, it might cost you $50, but maybe that shack that eluded you is sitting there waiting for you.
Right. Well, when you started doing this, I mean, I truthfully hadn't bought packs in years.
Yeah.
But then, of course, right away you go on eBay and you see these. Suddenly, you remember the artwork. You remember I mean, even sets I forgot about. But when I was younger, I was so taken by them. Was like metal. Do you remember metal?
Oh yeah.
I just thought those were like the coolest thing when I was a kid. Not really worth much then, but I just was totally taken by those and had forgotten about them until I started researching and looking at that.
Well, now the 97, 98 metal, the PMGs, the green, the rubies, and the emeralds are skyrocketing in price. And actually, PWCC has a lot that is an upcoming lot with a Jordan, Ray Allen, a bunch of other guys that people are highly anticipating, and people are speculating how much the Jordans, because the greens, there's only 10 of those.
Yeah.
And I remember growing up, to me, those metal packs, like the emeralds and the rubies, I never even thought about getting. Like, it wasn't even a thought.
Right.
It was so astronomical, like, don't even think about it.
Yeah.
But they were so cool looking.
Yeah, and then Flare Showcase when that came out, I was like, even the box looked beautiful.
Right? It's like velvet on the inside.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, when you're that age, they really did seem, I don't know, $5 or $6, but it just seemed totally unattainable. Because what we used to do is, whether we had allowance or whether we just worked and tried to do some chores, we'd
shoveling snow.
Yeah, shoveling snow. We'd have $5 or $6, a lot of it in change. I mean, I can truly remember those glass counters with the card shop owner having to count off our dimes. Like, okay, here we go. But yeah, Flare Showcase was one that I was just sort of obsessed with. But I never got to buy a lot of them because they were, so expensive. Yeah,
it was kind of cost prohibitive for kids, and now that we have some spending money, the prices are all going up because we all want those last few boxes left.
Right.
You mentioned kind of looking back into cards now. Have you bought any recent stuff, or have you kind of gotten out of collecting? Where are you at right now?
I mean, I would say I've sort of got out of collecting. I still have all my stuff. I'm kind of scared to go back into it because you just don't know how long 20 years really is what's happened. But I bought a box of Chrome. What year was it? I really didn't get anything.
Yeah.
I bought a box of Chrome and it was just fun to go through. I mean, that's another thing. You remember all these details when you start doing this stuff. But I remember buying Chrome and you get these packs and they would all stick together. And you have to be delicately peel them back, and they're sort of like folded a little bit oddly. So when I bought this box, and this was months ago, I bought this box, I totally remembered like, oh, this is how you have to get these separated. And it was, years and years, decades. So it was a little bit.
It's like riding a bike.
Some of them just, they were sort of ruined.
Destroyed.
Yeah,
and that's the crazy thing is like over time, that sticking only gets worse, I find. And I've tested out some stuff to try to make it worse, and Chrome is one that I can't figure out a way to kind of eliminate the sticking so it doesn't damage the cards. Like there's some other stuff, people have said like you stick the pack in a freezer and that might help, but with Chrome, it's like there's nothing you can do. You just have to hope you don't pull something good that's stuck to something else.
Remember, wasn't there a pretty cool penny rookie Chrome, or was it a rookie?
It was a finest.
Finest that's right. That's what it was.
That was my card forever.
I remember that. That's what. So sort of similar.
Yeah. The finest was really cool stuff. I know, like my favorite set growing up was the 96, 97 finest because I had the gold and the silver and the bronze and but those refractor patterns were crazy also. So were there any other things that you collected, like in the sports realm, or like any other fun things that you got, you know, out of the basketball NBA era of the 90s?
I didn't collect a whole bunch besides cards.
Mm-hmm.
I did try to do autographs, and but that was mostly with baseball. My dad was a local sports writer, and he would go and write about the Red Sox, and he had friends who wrote about the Red Sox. So, you know, I remember going to an early event hosted by Mobon, and got to sign a ball. So I was really into those sort of things. I mean, I have an uncle who's a collector and has some really unbelievable stuff that he's collected over the years. But cards were really my main focus. And the weirdest part with cards too is, as you know, it wasn't about the value, like the money value, because it was too abstract for us to really think about. But I do remember poring over Beckett, and it wasn't even money, but it was just like almost like a high score. Like instead of treating it as money, you'd be like, oh, this is worth 100 points, you know, because you did just want to kind of find, you know, who knows what's in this pack, or what I'm gonna get. And I hate conspiracies too. It's the other thing about my collecting is I truly believed that like people at Upper Deck, people at Fleer were sneaking cards in that were untraced by Beckett, or nobody knew about because nobody had pulled them yet. So I had convinced myself in my mind, like, I'm gonna pull a Mickey Mantle, Michael Jordan, you know, like a Mount Rushmore card where they're all signing in 3 different sports. I had just convinced myself that, you know, somehow there's even better cards that they're sneaking
than what you're seeing in the Beckett.
That they're sneaking in there, and it's going to take somebody to find it, you know, one of a kind.
Yeah, one of ones.
Of course, that wasn't the case, but it kept me going.
And the funny thing is now with Panini, one of ones are becoming a little bit less uncommon. They're still hard to get because.
Well, yeah, and I think you said Panini. I think part of the time I kind of got off the collecting was when it became this one monopoly thing that took over, because it was really in the 90s you get to live through all these innovations in the industry. Like, you know, I remember die cuts suddenly becoming this cool new thing. Net assets. You know, that Michael Jordan net asset, I was like, this is the coolest thing. Die cuts were big, and then when they started doing memorabilia cards, that was just like, you know, it was unbelievable. And then serial numbers, all that. So you could see Upper Deck and Fleer and, you know, all these companies, they were trying to
one up each other
in some way, or just try to push it further. And now it kind of feels like I could just buy, if I wanted a memorabilia card, I just buy a pack that I know has memorabilia, you know. So
guaranteed one hit per.
Yeah, and it's not to take away from collecting today by any means. It's just that's at the time it was really fun to watch all these new things kind of come out of it, and that's where I lost interest after.
Yeah, it's kind of like the competitiveness forced the innovation, the creativity out of these companies to see what would be the next thing the collectors would really want. I know some people have talked about, you know, the collectors like us from the 90s are, you know, the shiny era. We like the metal cards and the chrome cards and the refractors, and now people who are collecting now are it's the thick card era where everybody wants, you know, a bigger patch, the Letterman, the logos, autographed RPAs, that type of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how that type of stuff weathers over time. I think we've seen 90s go up right now.
I think that's totally true, although I do remember when they started putting those patches in the swatches, and I remember one of our friends pulled a Vince Carter with a piece of the floorboard.
That's right.
And that was mind-blowing to me.
And Vince Carter was the guy then.
Vince Carter was the second. I mean, we thought he was going to be, you know, and he's a great player. I love Vince Carter.
Yeah,
but
still
that was just unbelievable to see those sort of cards. So I think we were the shiny generation, but I think we were also on the cusp of kind of wanting those thick swatches. I remember you taught me once that, you know, not only jersey cards, if you get like an all-white swatch, what you really want is 3 different colors, or, you know, a piece of the number or something like that. And all those little details and, you know, intricate styles were fascinating.
Right. It's interesting now because I see patch cards are like almost, they aren't, most of them aren't engineered, but the companies will recognize that those are more collectible and they'll specifically put those aside. But 97, 98 Upper Deck, they had no idea what people would want more. So, any jersey card you pull, Grant Hill, for example, with the Pistons, there's so many colors in that jersey.
Yep.
You could get one that's just a teal piece, or you could get a part of the Pistons logo that has, 4 or 5 colors in it. And, they didn't know that people would want that more.
Right.
But,
yeah, it's because, demand is what pushes everything.
Right.
So, the consumer, what they decided they wanted or needed. But now, I mean, when jersey cards first came out, do you know relatively how rare they were, or did they flood the market, or were they felt very rare?
Yeah, so in 97, Upper Deck was the first NBA company that produced the jersey cards, and they were, off the top of my head, it was one in, I think it was 2,500 packs.
Right.
So it was, you're buying box after box to try to pull one. And then 98, it got a little bit more common, but you're still talking hundreds and hundreds of packs to get one. And I know that it the threshold seemed to continue to go down, and then I think it was 02, 03 that Topps made a set that was all jersey cards. So you get a pack, and you get 3 cards, and they all have a piece of jersey. It's a small piece.
Yeah.
But then those packs were obviously more costly than a regular Upper Deck pack.
That box later on, the
Bowman Sterling, yeah.
Which was I thought such a very beautiful set, but you could really see how inundated the market had become, because we're pulling these cool game worn cards
every pack,
and they're not really.
Yeah, because we pulled that Sean Marion Black Refractor, number to 25, and now we'd have to probably pay somebody to take that. I mean, we could probably sell it for a few bucks, but there's only 25 of that card in the world, and it's not, Sean Marion's not the most collectible guy, but it used to be that a rare card was a rare card, somebody would want it.
Somewhere there's a Sean Marion fan who's just
you're right.
Deeply disturbed.
There could be somebody tuned in right now that's hunting for that Sean Marion.
So maybe this is right.
Hey, if you're hunting for that Sean Marion card, let us know. We'd be happy to get it in the hands of somebody who would love it. But yeah, I mean, those were beautiful, beautiful cards to me, and it was an interesting year too, because it was 06, 07. So Adam Morrison was a rookie there that year. He was kind of one of the big hype guys, and it was just a bad rookie class. So a lot of those cards aren't really looked at as much because it's just that year. But there's some really cool stuff. We got a Rondo, who's been a great player. LaMarcus Aldridge, Brandon Roy. He had a short career with the Blazers, as I'm sure you remember. But he was great when he played.
I love Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
So there were some great players to be had in that, and it was cool because they had Hall of Fame players too. You could pull like a Luke Walton, or not Luke Walton. Bill Walton, his dad. Luke Walton wouldn't be such a great pull. Dominique Wilkins, Larry Bird, Pistol Pete. Some really cool legendary players.
They had didn't they have Dr. J?
I think they did have a Dr. J in that. So that was kind of the fun thing that you'd see, and Panini does that a lot now, which is kind of fun to see some of those Hall of Fame guys, as well as you can get a Steph Curry, and right next to it you can get a Moses Malone.
Yeah.
Where 97 Upper Deck, you're just getting the current players. You're not getting any of these old guys.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat.
And when we've opened packs at Panini, I mean, they're really well made. And I was sort of like on my high horse, like I'm not going to buy Panini. I remember the glory days.
Right.
But I mean, we go to buy a few packs, and they're really, really nice cards. And what's cool about them is you can still see, the 90s reflected.
Definitely.
In some of them. You can see that inspiration, how they carried the.
Well, and even some of the refractor patterns in the prisms are the same as what they, the cracked ice is just like the Bowman Atomic.
Yeah.
The Mojo is just like the Row Zero from Flair Showcase. So some really cool stuff that really kind of gives a homage, right? The Row Zeros were just like, I couldn't even fathom getting one of those in a pack. Yeah. And now, because thanks to eBay, it's pretty easy to go and grab a Horace Grant or Ronnie Cycli.
Right. Well, and back then we had eBay, I know.
Yes, but it wasn't as widely used.
It wasn't as widely used, and really our thing was just, let's meet at the card shop or meet at one of our places, walk down to the card shop, it's about a mile, and then just press our faces against the glass and just take it. Because what's so great about collecting is the owner of this card shop, he would have, every week you'd see these stunning cards coming through or cycling through, or again, for astronomical amounts we could never afford, but just so cool to see them.
Yeah, and maybe you don't want to personally pay to get one, but you could go and see them because
Right.
other people have them. And I think that's kind of the cool thing that, now with like the national convention and stuff, like, it's a huge format that you can go and see all these really cool things that maybe you don't have the funds to get in your collection, or you don't have the desire to get in your collection, but you can still go and appreciate it, that somebody else has this. And and you were talking about how well made the Panini cards are. I think it's interesting to see, because like when we were collecting the early 2000s is when the grading really started kind of picking up, and Beckett and PSA were really the two companies. And now if you pull a card out of a Panini pack, just to speak about how well made they are, if you get a 9.5, that's good, but if you get a 9, depending on the card and the player, you might be a little bit bummed out. Whereas in 96,
right,
if I pulled a card and I got it graded in 2000 and it gets a 9, I'm like, this is in great shape.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see how they've kind of upped the game with just the quality of the printing.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said for that, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, Beckett, I can just remember us all huddled around that thing, and then the grading was a whole. Grading, truthfully, was a part of collecting I never got into.
Yeah.
I couldn't really wrap my head around it. I didn't trust the idea of me sending cards somewhere.
Right.
I just thought, oh gosh, the only cards I want graded are my favorite cards.
Right.
And somehow, again, my conspiracy mind.
You're gonna get lost in the mail.
They're gonna get lost.
Right.
So
damaged. Who knows?
But it was, all that stuff was, it's, I guess the word I use for just the texture of collecting, all these different,
the nuances.
The nuances and things people focused on,
Right.
obsessed over, and you kind of felt like you were in this secret society of sorts.
Yeah, because I think even you brought it up that you like Damon Stoudemire, but you also tried to get like autographs and other things. So you don't necessarily have to be a collector that focuses on a player. You don't have to be a collector that focuses on a set.
Right.
You can kind of figure out your niche, and maybe you really love refractors and you just want to collect refractors. Yeah. And it doesn't matter who the player is. Whatever, you can kind of find your niche of what you think is cool. And there's tons. There's a whole world in that. Yeah.
And sometimes we would collect. We'd try to get a player that we knew one of our friends loved.
Right.
In anticipation of a trade we could work out.
Right.
I've been trying to get this Damon Stoudemire that's worth 50 cents. And for whatever reason, Jake won't trade it. But I just got this penny. Maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe we can force his hand here.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So, one thing I always think about, because I love busting open the packs. I know you do, and you have in the past as well. If you could go and buy, irrespective of price, one box or one pack, would you go and try to relive that glory of the Shaq Jambalaya, or is there another set that you think you try to buy?
I mean, I don't know. There was so like SPX.
Those are gorgeous.
I was looking at those recently, and those, like, I would just get so excited to have a pack of those. Right. So I'd probably do one of the SPX thing.
Okay.
I think that's what I would go with. Although, chasing the Shaq Jambalaya, I don't know. And to be honest, like, Flair Showcase hasn't held up for me as much recently, but that's the one I really love. So it's hard to say now as an adult what would I have gone over, but I really was so taken by. And you said the velvet, it may have just been that. Right. The idea that these cards
presentation.
Like, that's a whole other thing too, how you present these cards. I remember you'd open a box and like fold the hologram out.
Yeah, and things would pop out.
Oh my gosh, I need whatever this is. Right. I need to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, and SPX is a gorgeous set, and I actually remember the 97, so the second year that they did SPX for basketball, you only got one card per pack.
Yeah.
Which was,
Yeah, it's a big risk.
Yeah, and those cards were premium packs, so you could, I think it was probably $5 a pack when they first came out, and if you pull an Ed O'Bannon base card, you're going to be pretty upset.
Right.
If you pull the Jordan Gold, you're going to be pretty pumped.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of the gambling aspect, but it's like heightened because you've got one shot.
Yeah. I think I'd stick with SPX.
Yeah.
I think that was one of those that I was just totally taken with when I was younger.
One of the 97, 98 SPX, I know they kind of dialed it back a little bit with the die cuts in that set, but those have really stood the test of time because they had those grand finale parallels that are low numbered. Yeah. That again, those were one that I was like, geez, I wonder what those look like, but I'm never gonna have one in my hand. And now it's not a matter of whether I'm going to have one in my hand. It's, you know, am I going to fork over the cash to get it?
Right. Exactly.
To have it in my own collection. So, you know, it's interesting to see some of those cards that, you know, now we can see and fawn over a little bit more detail. We don't just have to look at this black and white picture in a Beckett.
Right. And now we have money, we can buy them.
Right.
Which is that, I mean, just even buying packs, you
Yeah.
know, like these $5 packs, like I can go into a card shop now and,
Right.
but they're few and far between.
Yeah, well, the card shops are tough to find. It's really, a lot of it's online.
Yeah.
Or, you know, getting to the large conventions that happen. Some of them are regional and some of them are, you know, the more of the national scale. Like they have in Chicago coming up this year, where, you know, who knows what you'll be able to find there.
Right.
Well, I know it wouldn't be 90s basketball cards without busting open some packs.
Okay.
So I've got a couple packs here for us to relive the glory days. We've got 98, 99 upper deck. So we could, in here, pull a Jordan jersey autograph number to 23. There's a chance.
I'm feeling that. I think
You know, this could be the day. I mean, there could also be some sweet penny fire in here for me. But there's also a ton of low numbered cards. I mean, we could pull some crazy fire.
All right.
So you want to bust in?
Let's just do it. Let's just pull the fire.
Let's just get the Jordan jersey.
Why not? What is it? 10 grand or?
Yeah, it's chump change, right?
We could
just a trip to Disney.
Let's just pull it and get it over with. Might as well.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
All right, we got the 2 packs here. So this is our 3rd time opening these, and we've got, just in case we get that Jordan, we've got one of the one touches. Let's bust in and see what we get here.
I'm feeling good.
I'm hoping, you know, a little bit of luck rubs off on me. All right, let's see. Loy Vaught, good strong start there with the Clippers. Vinny Del Negro, Jacques Vaughn. He was a coach for the Magic for a little while. Not a very good one. There's our boy Antoine.
There he is.
Sharon Wright. I'm not going to try to say that name. Eddie Jones.
Wow.
He was a stud.
Yeah.
Chris Anstey, the Thunder from Down Under. Derek Anderson, Highway 99. Oh boy.
That's what we were waiting
Mitch Richmond. That's what we wanted, the Highway 99.
Yeah.
All right.
We had to get that one out
Right.
of the way.
Now
so
this
we
is
could
where the
get that.
fire is. Okay. All right, Shandon Anderson. Donald Foyle. Dwayne Farrell. Purvis Ellison, your favorite.
Love Purvis Ellison.
Chanel Scott. Classic Cavs jersey there. Some Glenn Rice with the Hornets. Austin Crozier. Hey, there's a Jordan.
Hey,
not quite the one that we wanted, but hey.
It's a step in the right direction.
There we go. Next time, right? It's the next pack.
Exactly. The last pack in the box. That's how it always is.